From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, January the 27th, 2023. We open with reports tonight of a shooting attack in Jerusalem, believed to be a terror attack. The Times of Israel reports that 5 people were killed and at least 5 others wounded in the neighborhood of Neve Yaakov, possibly outside or near a synagogue there. The gunman reportedly shot and killed. A manhunt for other possible shooters was underway. Further details were still forthcoming as of the time of the taping of this newscast. Last night, several rockets were fired at southern Israel in an apparent response to a counter-terrorism operation conducted earlier in the day yesterday by the IDF in the Jenin refugee camp in order to stop an Islamic Jihad terror squad that had planned and was planning imminent terror attacks against Israel. Inside the camp, IDF troops came under heavy gunfire from armed Palestinian terrorists. The IDF returned fire, and in the fierce battle that ensued, 9 Palestinians were killed, 8 confirmed as armed members of various terror groups, and the IDF is looking into reports of 1 civilian casualty. After the operation, terror groups in Gaza threatened retaliation and last night fired rockets towards Israel. 2 around midnight last night local time, which were both intercepted by the Iron Dome. 3 more during the IDF strikes responding to those initial rockets. Those projectiles were intercepted or landed in open areas. No damage or injury was reported. In response to the rockets fired from Gaza, the IDF said it targeted an underground rocket manufacturing site belonging to the Hamas terrorist organization, and IDF fighter jets struck a military base used by Hamas in the northern Gaza Strip. The base, the IDF wrote, served as a significant center of Hamas's terrorist activities. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, following a security assessment, responded to the counter-terror operation in Jenin yesterday and expressed his appreciation for the bravery and resourcefulness of the soldiers who thwarted terrorist attacks that could have cost many lives. His office saying Netanyahu made it clear that while Israel is not seeking escalation, he has instructed the security forces to prepare for all scenarios in the various sectors in order to safeguard the citizens of Israel. Meanwhile, Friday Muslim prayers at the Temple Mount today took place without incident. The Times of Israel saying they were subdued with a heavy police presence. Well, today, January the 27th, is International Holocaust Remembrance Day, a date designated by the United Nations to be observed on the date of the liberation of Auschwitz 78 years ago, on January the 27th of 1945. Memorial ceremonies took place today across the globe, including at the Nazi death camp in Poland, attended and addressed by survivors of the death camp and leaders and officials from around the world, including from Poland, Slovenia, France, and the U.S., represented by Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, together with U.S. Special Envoy to Monitor and Combat Anti-Semitism, Ambassador Deborah Lipstadt. Commemorations on the grounds of the death camp also included prayers from religious leaders and a wreath-laying ceremony. Emhoff and Lipstadt wrote a special essay published in the JTA today, reading in part that at the commemoration they wrote, "We will represent the United States and honor the lives of 6 million Jews and millions of others murdered. As we reflect on history, we know that the bigotry that fueled the Holocaust did not end when the camps were liberated." Saying anti-Semitism may be considered one of the oldest forms of hatred, but its insidious impact and its deep dangers are not relegated to the past. While in Poland, Emhoff and Lipstadt will also meet with community leaders to discuss combating anti-Semitism and then go to Berlin to attend a convening of special envoys and coordinators working in that effort. U.S. President Joe Biden noted the importance of the Emhoff-Lipstadt visit and meetings in his remarks for this somber occasion. He said on International Holocaust Remembrance Day and every day, the United States stands with Holocaust victims, their families, and their descendants. We remember, we honor their stories, we will face down the hate and the lies that carry in them the terrifying echoes of one of the worst chapters in human history. And for generations to come, we will continue to defend our foundational values as a nation: freedom, equality, and dignity for all human beings. Prime Minister Netanyahu said in his remarks today for International Holocaust Remembrance Day, "We in Israel mark this event by honoring the sacred memory of those who perished at the hands of a murderous Nazi regime." He said the difference now is that the Jewish people have the state of Israel. Israel protects itself by itself. "I vow to you," he said, as Prime Minister of the one and only Jewish state, that we will remain vigilant, strong, and never allow the Holocaust to happen again. Never. And we continue with our special programming for International Holocaust Remembrance Day here on JBS Tonight. Looking at our programming for tonight, Friday, January the 27th, live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. And then Central Synagogue hosts the world premiere of Voices, a concert from composer Michael Shapiro based on Sephardic poetry of the Shoah. At 10, it's the film Eagles Over Auschwitz, the compelling story of the historic Auschwitz Birkenau flyover by 3 Israeli F-15s. And coming up next, it's a look at this week's Torah Portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, January the 27th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well, and Shabbat Shalom.